starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
So this is the start of the Halloween Spooktacular. Let's see if we can increase the size of Ho here in the middle. He's got a smaller window, but he's smack dab in the middle. Nice and highlighted.
Before we go in and...
So you might be wondering, what are they doing? Why do they all have the same everything? No, is Sadida having problems? I don't see her game updating.
Back this way. Alright, so we are gonna go down, up, left.
So what you want to do now
down,
is you want to move through the forest. There we go. You're fine, Sadida. Keep going. What you want to do is you want to update as you want to go through the forest with a very specific number of steps. After grabbing the knife, you get the knife by killing 3 bad guys. Once you get this note, you're supposed to go pick up an axe. Once you pick up the axe, then you can kill the Medusa head and grab a torch. But Perktown with a super secret. He has a different route here. Shrink this down a little bit. Perktown found the torch in a house, and now he's going for the kill on the head. So you can see Avidrock 42 in the bottom left, Jamie Loves Game in the bottom, and Johnny Link in the top right, Sadida in the top middle. All of them fighting the head. Perktown knife fighting the head, but he's fighting it with the torch. Maldite Loki there as well. All of them finishing basically at the same time.
Events, Spooktacular, Kyle's Quest.
Right, so there is a 30-second wait between games. So Sadida, if you can hear this, I think your window might have been a little zoomed in. I don't know if that's the case now.
Ooh boy. Okay, fingers crossed that we don't screw this up.
And there was no reset.
You didn't really think there was going to be a reset, did you, Overswarm?
I did not. I thought I was going to be giving an easy prediction.
That's fair. Oh, geez. I am bad at this. Gargoyle's Quest. Oh, yes.
So what they're playing right now is called Gargoyle's Quest. Gargoyle's Quest is a pretty neat game. I recently got the world record in it after rerouting everything. So what you want to do in this is you want to look in the background for visual cues and then extend your flight as much as possible. You can see a few people are not quite making it for some of these jumps. And that's because your hover at the beginning is very, very short. This goal is pretty easy, but it's also very dangerous. You have exactly 3 health, and there is nothing you can do about it, except for grab hearts and pickups that you find in the level, which take a lot of time. And if you die, you start back at the beginning of the stage. So on Perktown's screen, you can see that he has to jump back and forth off of these walls, and you can't grab the entire wall. You have to grab specific sections. If you grab too close to the top corner or the bottom corner, then it's just not going to work. Perktown got a bad charge there. Those guys, they jump and they move forward at a random speed. It's not what you want at all. The cloaked guys that you see spawning, they spawn at different positions. It's based off of how far away you are, and they have a random value that is loaded in when you get close enough. and it's just luck. Perktown taking an unfortunate hit. You don't want to have less than 3 health, at least not for this run. It's very possible. Avidrock says, I'm going to go for this secret health. He did some exploring. So that secret health gives you 1 extra health. As long as you can get to the boss room, it's not going to be a big deal. So it looks like everyone here is not going for the spike boost. And the spike boost isn't particularly difficult, but it's very scary because what ends up happening is you have virtually no health going into the boss. If you have no health going into the boss and you die, that can be a bigger time loss than just grabbing the extra health. This boss is 100% RNG. Avidrock with a pretty good pattern. He got a jump at first, which isn't great, but then he got the slow shot, so he doesn't really have to worry too much. Yeah, this boss is entirely RNG. Johnny Link also doing very well. And Sadida is playing very patiently. She says, I know this is just a few seconds here.
That I don't do what I did during the race last week.
Very smart by Sadida. She's going off, taking maybe 1 second to grabbing an extra heart. That's faster than taking immediate death.
That was a gold split.
Perktown making it through the boss, no problem. Multi-Loki also making it through the boss. Sadida with the best pattern. She's going to make up a lot of time here. She's going to be going straight to Castlevania. They just have to wait the 30 seconds. Arcus, thank you for the giant raid. For those of you playing in the Halloween Spooktacular, there are now over 500 people watching you. No pressure. For those of you coming in from Arcus' stream, this is the Halloween Spooktacular.
Oh boy,
we do this every year. We do this every year. The first place winner is going to get some candy. If you type !Spooktacular, you can see a link to a document that shows all of the goals. The first place gets candy, the second place gets candy, and 1 random entrant will also get candy.
Should I go for this? All right, we're gonna go for it.
Friday the 13th has already been done. Gargoyle's Quest 2 has already been done, and now they're on to Castlevania Beat the Mummies. This is one of the scarier goals on the list. This is a pretty common goal for a lot of races.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
It's a pretty common goal for a lot of races, and there's a reason for it, because it's not free for anyone. No matter how good you are, if you make one small mistake, Castlevania suddenly becomes like a casual playthrough because you're off on everything. You have to wait till you get to the next screen to reset, and starting on stage 3, that gets pretty dangerous.
All right,
so some people going for the bat boost,
we can do this.
Some people not. Multi-Loki not getting the stopwatch. And missing the bat boost as well. Not many bat boosts. So when you miss the bat boost, you have a decision to make. Do you go for the bat boost again? Or do you just go down underneath?
Yeah.
Multi-Loki now having a little bit of trouble with this bat boost. Now it's about time to say, that's enough with the bat boost and move on. Perktown making it to the bat. Sadida with an axe. She says, I know exactly how I'm going to take out this bat. There's no crit needed. I don't have to worry about hearts. Perktown is going to use the tried and true stopwatch. He just stands at the top, not going for the crit. He is using the marathon strat 100%. Johnny Link and Avidrock and Jamie Loves Games all in stage 2. Perktown right behind. Sadida right behind as well. Multi-Loki having a little bit of trouble with this bat boost. He's probably going to need to go down those stairs.
No! Sugar honey iced tea.
Sugar honey iced tea. Multi-Loki getting a stopwatch, but he's lost a lot of health here. I think he needs to just go down the stairs and go around. I don't think at this point it's going to be worth it. He needs to go down to the left.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. Should have just taken it slow.
So an unfortunate death for Avedrock. Maldite Loki making it through. He says, race or no race. I'm getting the boost if I want the boost. Thank you all for the follows. Johnny Link is just super smooth here. He's all the way to Medusa.
I get that.
Perk down, no stopwatch, but making it through just fine. He's getting the guaranteed 2 power up. For those of you wondering, where did all these racers come from? You might not have seen them in a Nescathlon or a Big 20. These are Learn Fast Racers. Every Sunday, just about every week of the year, we do something called the Learn Fast Race. There's going to be some information in chat. The Learn Fast Race is a semi-blind race. I reveal a game and a goal, and it's a pretty short goal typically, and you have an hour to practice that goal. After that hour, everyone races. And it doesn't matter whether you know the game or you're the world record holder or if you've never heard of it before in your life. You get to play and you get to compete, and there's no prizes, but you do get raffle tickets, and the raffle tickets allow you to win real-world physical prizes, which we're actually going to be raffling off after the Halloween Spooktacular. Johnny Link playing Castlevania like a pro. Perkdown moving on to stage 3. He is right behind Avedrock, just one screen. Jamie Loves Games not too far behind Johnny Link. Sedita now at Medusa, and Maldite Loki. He had a little bit of trouble with the bat, but nothing else is holding him back.
Go away, bird.
Maldite Loki being very patient on the mashers. Very well done by Maldite Loki. Oh no, Maldite Loki missing the 2. He accidentally earned it from throwing a holy water. But he should be fine. I think he got enough hits that he's going to be able to get another item 2 on the way to Medusa. But even if he doesn't, it should be fine. So Jamie Loves Games, I think he's actually farther than Johnny Link. There might have been a death. Johnny Link taking a death now.
Okay.
Jamie Loves Games making it to the mummy. He's got plenty of health. He's got wall meat just hidden in there. He even hesitates for a second, like, do I want to eat this or do I want to save it? But he doesn't need to save it. He is confident. He has his 2. He has his 2 crosses. They doubled up.
Oh, that was no good. No good. Don't do this to me. Let's
Avedrock, 4 health, walking down the final stretch of the bridge.
Okay.
So he can get the wall meat. He should have enough health. He's got to be careful here. Okay, very patient use of the crosses, waiting for them to double up.
Okay. Thanks. Hey, Bogo. This is a good look for me. Thank you.
All right, Johnny Link now on the Ouija Wee Bridge. This is the bridge where everyone practices and practices and practices, and then on race day, they kill everything with their whip. It's happened in every Castlevania race I've ever seen. People practice, they talk a big game. Johnny Link with the crit.
Thank you for the good luck, Bogo.
Johnny Link with the crit, not on the boss, but on the little statue. Avedrock going to be moving on to Monster Party, right behind Jamie Loves Games. Snow Party without a Monster Party. Johnny Link with no cross. Almost dies there, but he clutches it out with 1 health. Perkdown now on the Ouija Wee Bridge, taking it very slowly. Yeah, Johnny Link,
okay.
He was being very, very careful.
Don't forget to see the dead.
Perkdown, unfortunately, grabbing the knife by accident. Not what he wanted to see. He says, I'm just going to spam my whip and hope. 1 health left. This is definitely possible. 1 health left remaining for Perkdown as well. Very close for both Johnny Link and Perkdown. Perkdown saying, let's go. Sedita, being very patient with this bird, she says, "No, thank you, bird. Can't can't dodge the fireballs by ducking like you can the bird."
Oh, did I jump or am I gonna bounce? Oh, bummer.
Sedita in the top middle.
All right.
On Ouija Wee Bridge. Poe Dameron Slaw now moving on to stage 3. Poe didn't get quite as much time to practice, but he participated in a previous Spooktacular, and he did quite well.
All right, there we go.
Monster Party is kind of the mascot of these Halloween Spooktaculars.
I forgot I can just fly over all of this now.
Right, Sedita ending out the mummies with 4 health. Maldite Loki now on the bridge. Increase the size of Poe's screen there.
Fingers crossed that I remember the route through the sewers.
Jamie Loves Games moving very quickly through. He hasn't had any major errors yet. If you haven't played Monster Party, it is the Spooktacular game. Every year I've added 1 level to this. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this because it's starting to get difficult for the runners. Monster Party is a game of basically nothing but boss fights. You just walk from boss fight to boss fight, and you are most of the time damage boosting through things. You can occasionally turn into a dragon by getting a pill that you can find from certain enemy drops.
Oh, why did I jump? Why did I jump?
You can see Jamie Loves Games in the bottom is just damage boosting through enemies, and now he has to fight fried shrimp.
This way.
You can see he is just ducking under the shrimp. He doesn't want to take any extra damage. Then he follows the shrimp. This is a pretty common strategy for most of the bosses. The onion ring, you can duck under most of it, but not exactly where it lands, so you have to kind of walk and lead it a little bit. Yeah, Poe's finishing the Ouija Wee Bridge now. He's making it to the mummies. He doesn't have many hearts here. Just 2 hearts, but there's a few hearts that he can grab. But he can't get to the other side of the mummies. He was waiting a little bit too long here.
Now I'm burnt.
He's... Oh no! Poor Poe. He got there with such good such good health, such good equipment, but he was worried about that number of hearts. He only had 2, and so he wasn't in position.
This way, right?
He's gonna have to go back through the Ouija Wee Bridge. It's a very frustrating death.
Yep.
Johnny Link now on the onion ring. And Maldite Loki starting Monster Party in the bottom right.
Okay.
So the route that they are taking through this game, it's a little bit different than what you would see in the speedrun. In the speedrun, you want to figure out exactly where you're going to get Bert, the little dragon form. But for a marathon, getting it in stage 1, right before the pumpkin boss, is a pretty good idea. It makes the bosses way safer. You do not want to die in stage 1 in this game, and it's very possible. And Poe making short work of the mummies. He says, I wasn't confident last time, I'm confident this time. I don't have to worry about hearts, I don't have to worry about crosses. I've got a whip and a knife and a prayer. And it is no problem whatsoever. And Poe Dameron Slaw moving on to Monster Party.
So far, so good. Don't go in the door, don't go in the door.
Yep, no game overs in Castlevania.
We have Bert, so we should be good.
Stage 3 is quite a bit more difficult than the other stages, in my opinion, in this game, if you do not have the dragon form. So you really want to route this out very well. You can't just go in and play this blind. And if you notice on everyone's screen, they want to be the dragon.
Oh, mummy. Oh, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me, mummy. Stay over there. Oh, it was not Bert. That was sad. I was hoping I would get Bert. Also not.
Next poll is up. Will anyone use a continue in Wolverine?
Okay, so the umbrellas are now going to not be free. We need to...
So Avadrock not getting a Burt drop, where normally you would be able to get through pretty easily by shooting them with Burt. You can see Jamie Loves Games doing this in the bottom middle. You can shoot them through the rocks.
Super slow.
Yeah, stage 3 is no joke. Deaths in Monster Party are not kind to you.
We practiced this. Plus they give you health, so...
Everyone with very strong performances today.
This guy is Bert, and we are...
Jamie Loves Games killing the spider. He's going to be moving on out of stage 3 very soon.
Oh dear.
And that's a clunk.
Please.
He's going to wait 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And then he's going to be starting Wolverine.
Oof.
You might say, Wolverine, that's not a spooky game. This is actually a Wolverine hack created by Sarah Carey. It starts you on stage 5, The Trial of Terror, which is a horror-themed stage on that game, which you normally don't see in the speedrun because you skip it. You warp right out of it. And I think the developers didn't like it either, because not only is there a warp in stage 4 that skips it, there's a warp in the middle of stage 5 that skips it as well. And it's probably because stage 5 is the most difficult stage in the game, damage-wise. If you don't want to die, you have to take it very, very slowly.
Excuse me.
So if you die on the skull pile, you start back at the little skull marker. So you typically want to force a death there. So Avadrock right behind Jamie Loves Games. They're very close, and Johnny Link just now waiting for that 30 seconds to go on. And Poe is moving very quickly through Monster Party. Perkdown does have Burt for the umbrella, so he's going to be able to move through this section without too much difficulty. The umbrellas are almost like homing missiles. They go very quickly towards you. Very, very scary if you have a bat.
Oh no!
Avadrock.
And we had to continue. That's fine.
Hitting the spikes. Will anyone use a continue in Wolverine? The answer was yes. Right away. And Jamie Loves Games. Moving on to A Nightmare on Elm Street.
It was me. It was me. Sorry.
This
You lost points because of me. I apologize.
This is the great equalizer of a game. There's a lot of RNG in Nightmare on Elm Street. You can manipulate it, but it can be somewhat dependent on your console, on the inputs that you make. So you have to make the perfect inputs on the right console. You have to know what it's going to do. You have to have the right timing. Very difficult to do. Not super consistent. And what I'm talking about is that there are 3 houses that you have to enter before you can move on to any of the other levels. And they're in a row, 1, 2, 3. And Jamie Loves Games did not get the manip for the first house, so he's actually resetting and saying, let's just try this again. Because you can save a lot of time with a number 1 house. He says, oh, I didn't get it the second time. We're just moving on. I can't just reset here all night. But you can get the houses in any order. So you can get house 3 first. You can get house 2 first. So he got house 2 first, and house 2 first is one of the most frustrating houses, because even though it's not necessarily going to be the slowest, it can very much be the slowest, because if you do house 2 first, you then have to check 1 or 3. You can only do one of them next. If you have to do house 1, and you go to house 3, then you walk all the way to the right, then you have to walk all the way back to the left.
Oh wait, why am I going back.
So it can be a huge time loss. So he has a gamble on his hands. He has to go left or right.
Get
One of
house
them
2
is the
first,
right
there's
answer.
no reason to go back to house 1 in a race setting. None.
Avadoc doesn't like to gamble.
Statistically speaking, you should always go to house 3 first. Nope. No gambling.
So Maldite Loki moving through the sewers. Poe Dameron Slaw actually making it to stage 3. So he was Poe was a little bit behind, but he's been able to catch up somewhat to Maldite Loki and to Sedita.
Right on me. Come on.
So you notice that Avadoc is no longer punching. He is throwing javelins. There are pickups in this game that you can get, and during the Nightmare mode, if you fall asleep, or during bosses, you can equip them, and only then.
Yep.
Perktown, not getting house 1 either.
All right, let's see if this gamble to the it's house 3 and it's a fail. Right? Crap. Okay, so I could have gone to house 1 second, but if I'd gone to house 1 second and house 3 actually was the right one, there's a lot of backtracking you have to do. So I should have gambled, Overswarm. You were right.
Yep.
You were totally right.
Here I am talking on stream about how you get to gamble. And Avadoc says, no, there's only one right solution. And the game heard him. You never talk about RNG when your NES can hear you. It will bend the laws of physics and change the outcome.
Heard me.
And Sedita 17 moving out of Monster Party.
You shouldn't be listening. You're making me laugh, and now I have to go back and climb again.
She's moving on to Wolverine. Poe Dameron Slaw with the bat, doing very well on these umbrellas. He has to take it a little bit slow, but that's pretty fast.
No bees.
He's having no trouble getting through those umbrellas. Takes a hit for the vampire, but he gets a Burt drop, so it's going to be smooth sailing for Poe.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh no. Poe accidentally taking an extra hit. That is not what he wanted to see.
Why?
He has to use a continue on stage 3. That's going to be sending him back quite a ways. Not what he wanted to see. I shouldn't have said smooth sailing. His NES heard me through the computer. Maldite Loki on the wishing well. Deaths in Monster Party are brutal, and it's very easy to die in Monster Party. So I'm not sure what houses Perktown got, but I can see him moving to the left, which is typically not what you want to do in this game.
Yeah, spoiler alert, don't die in Monster Party. That's the worst.
Poe is not
Wait,
discouraged.
is this the house? This is the house. Okay. I almost went by the house. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. Ow. Thanks, Bat.
Cindy dying right before the door, but she makes it through Wolverine. No problem. Maldite Loki moving out of stage 2. Not too far behind Poe.
Whew.
After Nightmare on Elm Street, there's going to be Ghostbusters 2, and then new Ghostbusters 2.
Oh.
We are ending with 2 Ghostbusters 2 games. There's plenty of opportunities for people to catch up or fall behind. Race is about halfway over, give or take. And Poe moving on to the umbrellas.
Oh, rock. You rocked my foot.
Only 4 health here. He's got to be careful about taking damage. He doesn't want to take another death. Nice heart drop by the vampires.
No, I didn't make it. Crap. We gotta get you. Jump over that.
Poe getting lots of heart drops from these umbrellas, which is great. This is exactly what you want to see. You might see a couple people turning into angels on Nightmare on Elm Street. It's perfectly fine. The game is similar to Wolverine and how your deaths and continues work. You have plenty of lives, plenty of chances. All right, this time Poe says, I'm going to grab that heart first.
Nope, missed. Missed again.
All right, Poe's on the right side. Can he do it?
Wow, this fight's going horrible. Stop it. Stop it.
Not quite enough health for the spider. Has to do round 3 again. Maldite Loki now a little bit ahead of him, not by much. Monster Party, stage 3, very difficult. Avdok going for the javelin on this hand. Most racers talked about using the ninja because the ninja power up in this allows you to jump and have a meaty hitbox. It just kind of hangs out in the air, and so when he leaves in vulnerability, you're able to immediately damage him. And if he jumps into you, you're able to take damage. Johnny Link is on the junkyard here, which is exactly where he wants to be. This is the goal of this game. Johnny Link was talking about how this game is pretty special to him. So he was pretty happy to see it being in the race. All right, Maldite Loki now on Wolverine. He's moving quite quickly, taking the death on the bone pile. He will spawn back at the skull. And how they're playing stage 5 here is basically how you play stage 5 in the speedrun as well. You just kind of run through enemies and ignore them. You don't want to drop in the green goop. Because you start on stage 5, you're going to have all of your continues, but it still takes time to use a continue. And there is a warp in stage 5, but they cannot use it. This is warpless.
Oh dear. That's the continue, okay. Don't want it.
All right, Johnny Link moving on from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oops.
He looks to be a leader here. He's now playing Ghostbusters 2, the bad one. So Jamie Games not far behind. Avadrock not far behind.
The bad. Yeah, well, that's true.
If you look in the top right, you can see Johnny Link. He is just spamming the A button, shooting a bunch of projectiles. Your 2 attacks are shoot a bunch of green goop and lay a box out. And when you lay down the box, it shoots directly straight up in a vertical line, and it captures an enemy, and then you kick it off the screen. In between every stage, there is a driving section. And that's the game. Every stage is basically the same. So this goal is pretty short, but it can be dangerous. You can very easily die in these driving stages, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Johnny Link immediately running into a barricade. You can see a lot of very stereotypical ghosts. Poe Dameronslaw making it out of stage 3. He is on Wolverine. He probably has a little bit of berserker rage that he wants to take out on some of these enemies after having those deaths in stage 3. That was very rough because they weren't accidental deaths. They weren't mistakes. They were just death by 1,000 cuts where he just lost a little bit of health here, a little bit of health there, and then he would get to the very end and the boss just spams projectiles. So if you don't have that health, it's pretty rough. Johnny Link making it through the driving stage. We have 3 people on Ghostbusters 2. We have 3 people on Nightmare on Elm Street. About to be 4 people. post saying, "Give me the burger, I'm gonna grab the health." Does save time over using a continue. Fun fact, in the instruction booklet, it actually has a recipe for the burgers that Wolverine eats in that game. So if you look up the PDF of the Wolverine instruction booklet, you can eat the Wolverine burger.
Alright. One death in the car stage, but I got the free guy, so hopefully that will be enough to get through here without screwing it up. Here comes the gavel. Watch out for the
Final
rib.
prediction is up. Will someone die in the final stage of New Ghostbusters 2, which Johnny Link is currently on?
Ooh, that second gavel always gets me.
So there is a way to cut out this second phase of this first boss. I don't personally know how to do it. If you've never played New Ghostbusters 2, you can thank the bad version of Ghostbusters 2 that we just saw. It wasn't released in the United States because the other game was released first. But this game is far, far superior. It's very fun. You control two people at once. One is just constantly following you, and he follows your path. And if you press the B button, he shoots his trap out. And if you press the A button, then you stun with the first player. So what you will do is you manipulate your partner's movement. That way he can capture the enemies through walls or a little bit faster. And you can also pause him by mashing the B button. Perk down, moving on to Ghostbusters 2,
keep the
bad
to
one.
A minimum.
Poe doing very, very well for how little practice he says he got. He's had a weird work schedule, hasn't been able to practice all that much, hasn't been able to speed run quite as much. He's just now moving back to normal working hours. But he is still doing quite well.
That was terrible.
So if you haven't gleaned what New Ghostbusters 2 is all about, you have to kill the ghosts. Well, not kill. You have to trap the ghosts in every room. Before you're able to move on, it opens the door. Johnny Link with the strats. He stands in the safe spot. But unfortunately, he was just a little too far forward. He gets hit by the boss. But if you have to use a continue, you start right at the boss. So not a huge deal here. Now, there are continues you can use in this game that take up a ton of time. And you do not want to use those. And that is going to be on the last stage. So this is a very stressful final stage. It's similar to Monster Party in that you can lose a ton of time. Johnny Link actually had the boss stunned there, but his partner wasn't quite on the right pixel. Johnny Link taking out the boss. He's going to be moving out of stage 1. Averdrock and Jamie Loves Games not too far behind.
All right, stage 1. Let's go get some boss action.
This is going to be all about how few mistakes you can make. This first stage, pretty easy. You might take a death here, you might take a death there. But the second stage is full of mine carts.
That was terrible. Come on.
They move very quickly. They damage you. The third stage is long and has a
mine carts in video game history.
It's very long, and it has a variety of enemies, so it can be difficult to dodge all of their attacks. Especially like the flying unicorn-looking things that try to jab at you when you walk down a hallway. Maldite Loki in the bottom right, now on the jumping fist of Freddy Krueger.
Don't go forward. Oops. Come on. Free guy. All right. Excellent. Stay off the tracks.
You see Avedrock is actually attacking the enemies through the walls. Johnny Link being very patient. He says, I don't want to get hit by a minecart. I will stay off the track. That's easier said than done in a speed run. These minecarts move very, very quickly, but they follow a track. So as long as you're not on the track, you will not get hit by a minecart. The ghosts with pickaxes, not so much. They can move off the track. Perkdown on the courthouse of Ghostbusters 2. He'll be moving on to new Ghostbusters 2 very shortly.
Oh.
Perktown practiced very early, and then he didn't practice for a while. He was doing his first playthrough of Ocarina of Time, the N64. Slimer getting Perktown. You can lay a trap. So he lays traps, gets Slimer. He's going to be able to move on here.
Nope, nope, nope. Sugar.
2 Slimers caught. Perktown barely made it through. No lives left. But he says, I got it. It doesn't matter how many lives I have. I just have to pass. Moving on to new Ghostbusters 2. Johnny Link at the boss. Blink and you'll miss it. That boss is very frustrating casually because most bosses you kill just by holding down the A button. They turn pink, and then you press B. And that boss, you have to time your hit to where he doesn't block it because he moves his shovel to block you. Maldite Loki about to end Nightmare on Elm Street. Being very patient with the bat. He has plenty of health, plenty of lives.
All right. Last stage, last game.
You can see Johnny Link and Avedrock both on the final stage. You can see flying pink blobs on Johnny Link's screen. You don't necessarily have to go behind them like Johnny Link's doing. It's a little bit faster to just dodge and then attack them, but very dangerous. This is one stage that you do not want to game over in because you can lose a ton of time. And there are plenty of ways to die here. There are invisible ninjas. See, that one spawned right in front of Johnny Link and it was going to dodge. It was going to charge right at him.
Oof, invisible ninjas. The worst. Come on. Get down here.
You can get extra lives by picking up bags of money.
Thanks,
and by
Egon, Ray,
getting lots of extra points by taking out enemies. Poe moving into the junkyard. Maldite Loki.
Isn't there more ninjas in this room? I swore there was another ninja in this room.
Oh, did Sadida have a full game over on Nightmare? That is unfortunate. That's not what you want to see on Nightmare on Elm Street. But she's still smiling. She's still happy. Right at final goal boss.
Alright, that was a good room.
There are no free games in a marathon.
That was a good run. No! Bummer. Ouch. Oh, wow. Got him.
So a couple people on this final stage now. Perktown moving on the second stage of the final game. Johnny Link, Jamie Loves Games, and Avedrock all on the final stage. This is the longest stage of any of the games, I think. And there are plenty of opportunities where you can decide to play it safe or push forward to just save a few seconds here and there.
Ninja, please. Oh, dance.
Yeah, this is Sedita's first race.
All right.
She's not raced with us before.
All right, I've got 2 lives.
Poe now
Time to
at the
be
boss.
Extra careful. No, no, no! Dude, these ninjas are the worst.
Everdock having a little bit of trouble with the ninjas.
Wow, there's another one? Oh, cripe. No! Sugar!
Has to take a continue on stage 3, but when you use a continue in stage 3, it doesn't send you back to the beginning of the stage. It sends you back to the beginning of the section. Johnny Link at one of the boss rooms.
Back, thankfully.
So all the rooms kind of look the same, so it can be difficult to see who's ahead, who's behind. Johnny Link playing red light, green light with a little pink stabby unicorn. The farther you go in a section, the less you want to be aggressive, the more you want to be a little bit safe. But one strategy that I did see regularly used in the Learn Fast races is they would get to the end of a section and then immediately game over in the next one just to refill their lives. Poe Damerslam moving on to Ghostbusters 2. Sedita, plenty of lives going into the boss. She says, I'm going to take this a little bit safer. She's not going to damage boost. She's just crouch firing. She's like, I know what he's going to do. I'm going to deal the most damage I can while taking the least damage I can, killing the boss without losing a life. In fact, gaining a life just based on the number of points. Maldite Loki moving on to the final game in the series. And that's going to be a dot done for Johnny Link. Johnny Link with a 47:34, an excellent, excellent race time. That is a first place finish for Johnny Link. He is the winner of this year's Halloween Spooktacular.
Johnny Link, man.
So he's going to win some candy. Sub 50. So Johnny Link, send me messages in Discord of what kind of candy you like. And make sure you give multiple options. I do not guarantee anything. It all depends on the prices of things. It all depends on the availability of things. And if you just say one candy,
Crap, there's one more.
and it's not there, then I will pick a candy for you, and you don't want that. So just send a DM on Discord with a list of candy, preferably in the order in which you prefer. I may deviate from your list some, I may not. It all depends. If you have any allergies, make sure to leave those there as well. All right, Perkdown moving on to stage 3. He is now up against the pink blobs. Poe Damerslam moving on to game 3. Sedita having a little bit of trouble with the bees there.
When I don't need them, right, because that's it. This is the last room. It is going to be a PB, and it's sub 50.
And GG to Avadoc, another sub 50, 49-18. Avadoc, same to you.
Woohoo. GG's. Everybody's doing so well.
End up with candy corn. Nobody's that cruel. So we have the guaranteed candy already been accounted for Johnny Link and Avidrock, first and second place, but a random entrant will be getting candy as well. If you've been watching these racers and you thought, wow, these retro runners look like really cool people, you would be right. And if you go to twitch.tv/ whatever their name is, so like twitch.tv/Perktown, Sedita17, Johnny Link, Poe Dameron Slaw, Avidrock 42, Jamie Loves Games, who just finished with a 50-24, and Maldite Loki in the bottom right. Very close for Jamie Loves Games. Very close. He's got to type .done in the chat, but we all saw it. $50-24 for Jamie Loves Games. GG to Johnny Link, Avidrock 42, and Jamie Loves Games, top 3 for the Halloween Spooktacular. This is the third Spooktacular. This game has some jams too. Sedita is moving on to the graveyard. She unfortunately had a death right at the very end of the junkyard. You're welcome, Grand Buffalo. We do a Learn Fast race, just like a mini race after an hour of practice every Sunday. If you type !Learn Fast, then you can see more about it. Once a year, we do the Halloween Spooktacular, where we give candy as prizes. And then once or twice a year, we also do the Zenith runs, where we give away cash prizes. One of those will probably be happening next year. Johnny Link and Avidrock, thank you for the hosts. So using to continue plenty of lives. Because I don't care about these boulders. I'm just here for the next bingo. We do occasionally do things like bingo night or NES trivia night. Poe Dameron Slaw on stage 2 of the game. Perktown on stage 3. Maldite Loki on stage 3. This is the third year we hadn't done Nightmare on Elm Street yet. But yeah, I added it just for you. Alright. Sedita 17. Several lives. She is fighting the bat. She goes, I have a safe strat. I will stand here. I'm going to stab him twice in the face. I will kill his children. This bat has very little health left. Like one more hit should do it. And that's going to be a done for Sedita. She makes it through Nightmare on Elm Street, and I just realized she has a little Futurama brain slug on her head. That's 2 people who dressed up in costume for the event. Alright, Poe Dameron Slaw moving on through the train section. He's going to be fighting the boss very soon. Hi, Jamie Loves Games. Thank you for participating. This was a lot of fun. You did very well. You were in the lead for a significant portion, too. And everybody who came in here from Arcus' stream, make sure you give these guys a follow. These are all retro runners. They all play retro games of various types. Many of them play in Learn Fast races. And it's always a good idea to have more retro streamers on your follow list. Multi Loki flying through stage 3. Unfortunately, getting hit with a shuriken. Still got some lives. Not a problem. His teammate is a little lost. He had the ninja, but his teammate got away from him. It's one of the disadvantages of being desynced, kind of like Ice Climbers and Melee. If you get far enough away, it just kind of goes off on our own. Okay, and that's going to be Perktown finishing. I think. He says, I'll be right back. He might have had to get up for a second. Johnny's time was a 47 minutes. I didn't see a dot done from Perktown, so I'm not sure. But he was on the 3rd stage, so I think he's done. Sadida. Okay, he's back. He just had to get up for a second. He had to pee so bad. Multi Loki about to make short work of this boss. Podemon's Law also on the final round here. And that's going to be a dot done by Perktown. 57-27 minus however long it took him to pee. As a sub 60. Multi Loki with very good movement here. Taking an unfortunate death. Hopefully he has an extra life. He does. That will take him through this section. Sadida having a little bit of troubles here with Ghostbusters 2. This was the game that she was worried about the most. She can definitely make it. We all believe in Sadida. There is a lot of stuff to avoid in these racing stages. That's going to be a dot done from Maldite Loki at 59.05. To put this in perspective, the first times people were posting were like an hour plus. Maldite Loki getting a sub hour in a marathon. Yeah, it was longer than the other ones. But if you were a Learn Fast racer and a previous Spooktacular racer, you definitely did have an advantage. I didn't go mute. I was fixing the audio. Mall Night Loki was going off stream, and he was the audio source, so I had to switch it over to Poe. We're currently on stage 3. All right, Sedita making it through. She is now on the driving stage. If she can get through the driving stage, she'll be good to go. Got to jump over those little barricades. Dodge the flying red things, of which there are a surprising amount. Sedita moving faster and faster. Poe taking a death on the boss, but it did have an extra life.
No!
Taking another death.
Man.
An unfortunate continue right at the end of the section.
Shoot. Man, I had a good time going. Now.
But it's no problem. He can go through this section again. Sedita still going through the driving section. She's looks like she's nearing the end. She starts seeing the Slimers.
I knew I was cutting it close, trying to make it on one life. Hubris.
Alright, big grin from Sedita. She has moved on past the driving stage. She's in the courthouse. Now she has to be careful. The courthouse is not free. There are a lot of enemies that I would say are practically unfair. You have to kill them with a trap. If you don't kill them with the trap, then they can be quite frustrating. These books are very difficult to dodge. You can see they don't move straight up and down. That would be too easy. Misses the jump. She has no lives left here. Perfect placement of that trap. Because I'm going to get right up here. Misses the jump again. It has to use a continue, but oh no. It looks like... Okay, she's good. She still has continues. I thought that screen came up when you ran out of continues. Like, oh no, she has to do the driving stage again. She doesn't. She's back at the courthouse. She has all of her health. And the only time she was dying is with the little gavel that was moving on after the book. So as long as she gets the jump in and dodges that gavel... Missed the jump over the gavel again. She might be able to die to every gavel and still make it. And that's going to be a dot done for Poe, making it through. Unfortunate death at the end of a section. But he made it through. Alright, Sedita makes it through. No lives left, making it through. That is the end of Ghostbusters 2. She now has new Ghostbusters 2 left.
Well, I didn't finish last. Just second to last. Alright.
The better of the Ghostbusters.
For the guys who watched me fail.
GG Poe Dameron Slaw. Five years later. She's got the wrong Ghostbusters. They're like, let's go to new Ghostbusters 2. There we go. We're going to be watching Sedita 17 finish this out, then we'll be doing the raffle after. And you can get a nice, good look at this game. This is a surprisingly good game. I don't know how good the speedrun is because I only played the first few sections. The difficulty spikes up drastically after stage 3. Like, it is a much more terrifying game. But the routing is interesting because you're constantly routing how your AI partner is moving. So it's not just where you move, it's not just how you move, it's not just when you move. It's just it's just how your partner reacts to your choices. And since the enemies can move somewhat randomly, you have to kind of learn how your partner is going to react, because if you make the wrong choice, then he just wanders around a wall. You did well, Poe. I feel like for future years, I should give additional raffle tickets to whoever dresses up for the Spooktacular. Because both Avidrock and Sadida kind of dressed up for the Spooktacular, and that was pretty good.
That's awesome.
Well, Monster Party Stage 3 is rough. Both Castlevania and Monster Party has a lot that can go wrong, and very costly game overs. Yeah, Poe's deaths on stage 3, if I recall, were like all at the very end. Like not towards the end, not near the end, at the end. If you haven't ever played this new Ghostbusters 2 before, I highly recommend you do. It's a pretty unique NES game. There's not another NES game like it. That little doodly-doop is an extra life, which is typically very good in this game. Occasionally you want to tank a death to fill up your lives in stage 3, but other than that, more extra lives the better. I don't know if there's a way to manip getting extra money bags or not. We can't incentivize that though, Perktown. Otherwise people start joining blindfolded. Sadida says, I'm going to take out the workers first, and then I'll worry about the minecarts. They would for candy, Perktown. Yeah, when I say you win candy, I typically don't mean like a candy bar. I give what I would consider a decent amount of candy. It's an obscene amount. See, I didn't think it was an obscene amount of candy, which makes me worried about the amount of candy that I might eat. My wife wishes to inform everyone that her cat has hiccups. It is kind of weird that New Ghostbusters 2 isn't 2-player, but I imagine that they didn't make it 2-player due to like lag. Free money bag. So Sadida had some trouble on Nightmare, but you can see that she has a lot of golds on her splits. She was 10 minutes ahead, leaving Wolverine. She's got to be patient for these heads. They will float onto your position, which can be dangerous in this game. They're not too dangerous when you first see them. They're just kind of slowly moving, but then they stick on your position. And what ends up happening is you can't hit them with the little tractor beam. You've got the particle beam because they are inside your hitbox. You don't notice it the first time through because you're just like, oh, this is easy. And you put them all in their traps. So the moment something goes wrong, they just stick on top of you. Yeah. Where's Sabin when you need him? So I don't think Sarah Fusion's here, but how many chuggas do you guys say before you say choo choo? Like if you were saying like a number of chuggas then choo choo, how many chuggas would you say? This is a regular debate we've had in this channel. Wife says 4. Poe and Perkdown say 2. Avidrox says 8.
8? Wow. That's a bit excessive.
Private Part says 8. Jamie says a lot, at least 10. Iced says 4. Johnny Link says 8. I counted to be sure, it's 8. Stabby flying pink blob says you shall not pass. You can get it, but you have to go back in here to get the slime anyway. Might as well grab it from behind. So it is moving through the final stage. Now, she does want to save her continues. I don't know if there's a limited amount of continues in this or not. There may be. So she needs to watch out for ninjas. There are only 3. Only 3 continues. So Sadita's got to be very careful here. Try to save all of her lives, save all of her continues. The most dangerous foe is going to be the ninjas with shurikens. They appear and then they throw 3 shurikens, and if you're anywhere near them, in front of them, they are going to hit you with those shurikens. It's very difficult to dodge. An unfortunate ninja placement there. Sadita says, all right, now I've got you. She will dodge and move forward. Last time I think Johnny Link won the drinking memorabilia. But there is a drinking consumption device, although it's not alcohol related. Perktown did win a engraved flask from Legend of Zelda. Jim Belushi goes to second work. Sedita using a continue at a pretty bad spot there. It was right at the end. She almost made it. Just gotta be very careful here. That was the ninja that got her last time, I think. And this time she says, don't worry about it. I've practiced this part. Well, the music in this game is fantastic. Sedita making it to the boss. There are these mini bosses on several floors, and it can be kind of difficult to get through. There's a lot of obstacles on the ground. Your goal is to get to the side of them, and then you're able to take them out with no difficulty, but easier said than done. Now here comes the difficult section. Lots of shuriken throwing ninjas. Very well done. And she gets an extra life. That is going to counteract the life that she lost in the previous floor. Essentially coming here with full lives. Very well done by Sedita, taking out all of these shuriken ninjas without losing a single life there. Actually gaining one. Very dangerous door here. 2 ninjas appearing. Lots of shurikens. Using the wall to her advantage. Very well done. Very patient. A third secret ninja that only spawns after his friends were slain. He probably could have helped out. These are expert level dodges by Sedita. I'm thinking like I would have walked directly in front of these guys and died. That was very well done. She's now in the boss room. Not a single death, actually gaining a life on this floor up to the boss room. Gets hit by the mace, but now she can use these iframes to move forward and get the position that she wants. Now the monster is right-handed, so as long as she is able to stay on the side. All right, she's got to go aggressive. Oh no! Alright. He says, game face on. Gotta play it very safe with these ninjas here. She can get them through walls. Ooh, that was really bad spawns there. Not much you could do about that. So these double ninjas causing trouble. Got stuck on the plant. There's nothing she could have done there. Oh, and here comes the baby. Everyone say happy Halloween. It's very difficult speedrunning with young children. I know this very well. Nope, wrong room. Baby distraction. So if she can't finish for whatever reason, like if she needs to spend time with the kid, that is perfectly okay. It still counts. An unfortunate game over. That's the last continue. It sends her back to the beginning. And she's got a kid coming in. If she wants to finish, she can. She doesn't have to if she doesn't want to. It was very well done in the ninja rooms. Just a little bit of trouble with the boss at the end. This does count for the secret candy giveaway. So she is still eligible, even if she has to stop, because I know it's kid time according to the kid coming in. All right, so she has to call it. Baby takes up the time. I've been there. Everyone give Sedita17 a follow, as well as Johnny Link, Perktown, Poe Dameron Slaw, Average Rock 42, Jamie Loves Games, and Maldite Loki. We're going to do some giveaway. Good job to everybody who participated, especially if you're not used to doing longer races like this. This is like an hour, hour and a half worth of games. Yeah, this was a beast compared to other years. I wanted to level up this year. We'll probably scale it back next year to something a little bit shorter. But I thought this was a appropriate level of games, and I think you guys definitely stepped up the plate. So now I have to